We have this one precious life. Are you making the most of it? When you're caught in the throes of burnout, it's really easy to feel a nagging sense that there's so much more you could be experiencing and achieving. Now, if you find yourself in this position, yearning for a greater sense of purpose and meaning, then you won't want to miss today's episode. So come and join me as I dive into 4 transformative keys that will unlock the door to discovering your fulfillment, your true life purpose, and help you to navigate the path from burnout to bliss. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Bliss Movement, a podcast for big-hearted, driven women daring to be great who know that this starts by pouring love into themselves first. I'm Dr. Fee. I'm passionate about helping women to stop tuning out and burning out, but to tune within, reconnect with your heart, feel lit up, follow your bliss, and live life on your terms. So, get ready to expand your life beyond what you thought was possible when it comes to healing, wealth, love, purpose, and leadership. Many of my clients in burnout have come face to face with these questions. Who am I? What is my life purpose? What's this all about? How do I make the most of my precious life? Truly, this line of questioning, it gets to be the silver lining of being in overwhelm and burnt out. Just hear me out, because it's our challenges like anxiety or depression or burnout. They are the catalyst for deep personal growth and self-discovery. As Sun Tzu said, in the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. So as you lean in and you embrace the really messy times of life, let's just face it, we're all a bit messy. You have the opportunity to actually tune into a greater truth and a power for your life. Now, my own burnout was the catalyst for me embarking on the most extraordinary healing journey. It's what got me onto a spiritual path. It was a horrible experience, but yet I'm so grateful for it. It was this wasn't what I was expecting at all, because up until that point, I was very conventional in my thinking. I was on the sort of standard conveyor belt of life, ticking all the boxes, doing what was expected, completing my emergency training, but spiraling into that immense suffering, like hitting the wall, feeling really burnt out. What came with it is the opportunity to question everything. Question who I was, what I believed in, the way that I was living life. And in this chaos, because it feels incredibly chaotic, where everything, that you defined yourself and valued in life starts to sort of crumble down around you, this new path formed. And it's one that has brought me so much satisfaction, joy, fulfillment, adventure, fun. It's been heart blowing, mind blowing, and it's what I want for you too. So, your life purpose, this really consists of this central motivating aims of your life. It's the reason why you get up in the morning. It's the essence, it's what you want to drink in life. Now, your purpose, it will guide your life decisions. It's going to influence the goals you set, the behaviors that you adopt. It creates, or it offers this sense of direction, and it creates meaning in life. Now, events in life are completely neutral until we give them meaning, and then they become an experience. So purpose really influences our experience of life. Now, most, if not all of my clients stuck in survival mode can find themselves in this space, a void, feeling so confused, feeling regretful, a sense of pressure and a weight and a burden and frustration. And really, just when reflecting on purpose and living a meaningful life and really embracing life to its fullest potential, it feels to them it's quite elusive. It's like beyond their fingertips, something that they have to strive for outside of them and find and discover out there. They can really mislead themselves in believing that their purpose resides in a particular title or position in an area of life, maybe some new experience. But let me share with you 4 transformative keys to really help you shift the thinking that you might hold around purpose so that you're actually supported, guided to finding fulfillment and purpose and meaning in your life right now. So, this brings me to key number 1. And of course, it's going to be resolving the survival state. And here's why. When you're stuck in a survival mode, it's very, very challenging, if not almost impossible, to connect with your true purpose because your survival mode is characterized by this constant state of stress, fear, lack, scarcity, and it can cloud your judgment. It distorts reality. It makes it really difficult to see beyond your immediate needs because you're focused on survival, and it's a whole different level talking about purpose to survival. You're wired to focus on threats, worst case scenarios, what's not working, what you don't like, what you don't want. That's the way that our mind, our physiology is wired when we're stuck in a sympathetic dominant state. It's physiology. There's so much inner noise when you're in a state of stress, constant stress, anxiety, depression. There's this negative thought chatter. It's just constant, right? And there's times where I was in burnout where I just wanted to scream, will you shut up? It's like this process of waking up to the true nature of your mind. There becomes this uncomfortable bit where you notice and this awareness that I'm not my mind. There's something that's witnessing my mind, and my mind will not shut up. And it's so critical and judgmental. And it's like, oh my God, do you hear what I'm telling myself? Like, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. And that inner noise makes it very difficult for you to hear the whisper of your heart or the inkling of your heart or the whisper of your soul, inner guidance. And even if you do get a glimpse or a gut feeling or a knowing, it's very difficult to then trust in yourself to embrace change. That's often always required when it comes to following your guidance, following your bliss. My experience of following my bliss or cultivating and discovering more and more purpose and meaning in my life is that often leaps are required. Like I've had many big leaps in my life as I've lived my soul aligned life. Okay. And what's required is the inner resolve tool strategy, what I call the bliss toolbox, that supports us to lead ourselves. And for me, it's to lead myself through the unknown. How can I be really comfortable with the unknown? Because that is how we embrace more and more big leaps and change. Now, if you're in a state of survival, it's the last thing you want or need. More chaos, more uncertainty, change. Oh my God, we want to withdraw, put our head in the sand, pretend, withdraw and go watch Bridgerton on Netflix, right? In order to keep ourselves safe. And it's just like our ability, like decision fatigue, empathy fatigue, our ability to just hold even more uncertainty, unknown. Like it's just our capacity is so tied up with the stress state and all this unresolved emotional pain and discomfort because of the way that we've been living life. Now, to resolve the survival state, it's really essential to go deeper beyond the mind. It's not just about mindset. It's not just about the strategies and time management app or fixing your diet. It's actually more than that. We've got to go deep into the stress state, the felt sense, the emotional regulation, and connect to the soul, awaken that part of us. And, there may, of course, be a lot of practical steps for you to take and seeking support from professionals and creating healthier boundaries in your relationships. But there's more to it too. And I have a free class from Burnout to Bliss, and it takes you through the 4 steps to resolve this. But also, if you're ready for more, like you're just like, yeah, absolutely, it's time for me to get out of the survival state, then apply to join Expanding Bliss, because this incorporates my full Burnout to Bliss process, which is an absolute game changer. Now, the reason why this is important to take the steps to resolve the survival state is that you will transform how you think, feel, act, do, and be in life, which means that your experience of life, reality, will transform around you. So this is what I mean when I say we get to transform our life from the inside out. So you allow yourself to shift from a state of fight, flight, reactivity, do, to a state of calm and centeredness, intentionality, consciously living, where you get to explore what truly matters to you and what brings you a sense of purpose and deep, profound fulfillment. Okay. And resolving your survival state, it's a process. This is not a time to blame yourself and get frustrated and just keep spiraling into that burnout cycle, which I've talked about before. There is an episode solely dedicated to burnout, and I recommend that you check that out. It takes time. So be patient with yourself, celebrate every single step. You'll hear me say that again and again. Trust the process. As you start to feel more grounded and secure, you're going to find that naturally you're more open to exploring purpose and meaning and confidence and trust in yourself to follow the things that light you up. And really, we're going to explore that with the other keys, why that's important, especially in discovering more purpose in your life. So, number 2 is it's essential to discover purpose, fulfillment in your life right now. Now, there's other episodes that I've talked about in terms of the suffering gap. It's a really important training. If you haven't listened to it, check it out because this is so common as big-hearted, ambitious, driven women. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it's not that we have a lack of imagination. It's just like the sense of we know what we do want, but we get so caught in the suffering gap where I'm here right now and I want to be there. And so oh my God, in the void, we suffer because I'm not there yet. We compare ourselves to an ideal and we don't appreciate what we have right now. And we're living for one day, someday. And it's very depleting and very exhausting and contributes to anxiety and a disconnection from our heart and missing out on the beautiful, simple, gorgeous moments that make a profound life right now. So chances are, because you're tuning into this, you have multiple different roles and duties. You wear a lot of different hats in life, right? And when we're juggling all the things, yeah, obviously that contributes to our burnout, our survival state. But these are all incredible avenues for you to discover immense purpose. Now, if you just look at, like, to back up what I'm saying, it's true, right, that for some people, purpose is connected to their vocation, a meaningful, satisfying career and job and doing great things for the world. For others, their purpose lies in the responsibility to the family and friends. Some people I know find immense purpose in being a carer for the mother. For others, it's in terms of supporting their friends because their friends are going through cancer, or maybe their friends' children have been diagnosed with cancer. I'm just thinking of all of my clients and how they actually are finding purpose in their life. And it's varied. Others seek meaning through spirituality, religious beliefs, charitable work, service, savor, selfless service. And some people might find their purpose expressed in all of these aspects in life. And, after traveling the world and being a keen spectator of life, witnessing, watching, being in so many people's lives, that's the grace, the joy, the privilege that I have. First as a doctor, now as a transformation coach, I can assure you that some people have immense purpose in being a carer, a gardener, a volunteer at the hospital, right? An artist creating beautiful, unique pieces that make the world a better place. It's not the title that gives you purpose. It's not a particular position, but rather what you focus on that reveals purpose, meaning, and fulfillment. Like, you can have a career like being a doctor, but that's not necessarily purpose. You can discover purpose in your career as a doctor depending on how you show up and what you focus on and how you be and how you care for your patients. Like, my purpose as a holistic doctor was someone who, understood therapeutic relationships and creating a safe space and the sacredness in supporting and guiding my patients through an open heart and love, right? That's a purpose. It's not in the doing state either. It's more in the being state, the feminine, that purpose resides. And so by discovering purpose in who you are and in the different roles and the hats that you have right now, because it's there. I have immense purpose as a mum, immense purpose as a wife, immense purpose as a daughter. And as I find and discover it and honor it and cherish it, I become even more and more magnetic to purpose. And that is based on a neuroscience, a psychological, and a metaphysical level, because we start to focus on what we focus on grows. Okay, that's a neuroscience principle. And we start to see it's attention, selective attention. It's what referred to as in psychology, which I've spoken about in many episodes. And so also on a metaphysical level, we become more magnetic and we manifest more opportunities where we can truly shine and find deep, profound meaning, because we're already appreciating what we have right now. So number 3, purpose can be discovered in pursuing a new identity or focusing, like choosing to focus on who you are becoming. Okay, so let me share with you one of the main ways that I discover purpose and meaning in my life, and that is through my dedication, devotion to normalize pouring love into myself first, to cultivate deep self-love and compassion, to live bravely. Like, I'm deeply committed to my growth and evolution over a lifetime. Like, I truly honor and prioritize that element of who I get to be for the rest of my life, not just here and now. So my purpose isn't necessarily an outcome, but rather the process of my life and how I get to show up and lean into the challenges, embrace the messy times, my messy bits, to embrace who I am, to be forgiving and compassionate to myself. So I wonder if you can find purpose in your relationship, to get to know yourself in a deeper way, to discover more about you, your heart. Could you discover purpose and meaning in that? Because I truly believe, looking at a lot of the great scriptures and spiritual paths in the world, it is, it is what the human experience is all about. Waking up to the fact that we're the divine incarnate, waking up to the fact that we're the divine. And so that brings me to number 4. And there's 3 points to this. So you can discover purpose when you align with a focus, a mission, or direction in life which feels really real and true to your heart, so alive to you. And there's 3 important ingredients to this. This is what I believe really will help you. I refer to it, and I call this like the zing, where something feels just so right with you. I don't know if you've seen Hotel Transylvania, but the zing is when vampires fall in love. But I refer to that when I just know, oh my God, that feels right to me. And that is how we can follow the different sort of crumbs in life or the seeds in life to be like, oh, this is the direction. These are the signs. And the first ingredient is following what you love or thoroughly enjoy. When you really look at people who have deep meaning, fulfillment, and purpose in their life, they have followed their bliss, their heart. They've followed what lights them up. Now, my mum, she's absolutely extraordinary. At the age of 50, so she's a farmer in Queensland. At the age of 50, she went through a dark night of the soul, but she discovered that she's a brilliant artist. And she's able to do the most incredible portraits with charcoal, and she'd won a lot of local shows with her art. And then years later, she combined that talent with her love of farming. And she created wearable art. So this is making costumes out of farm trash. And it's so hilarious walking around the farm with her. And she's like, she'll see something, like anything from the lids of like dog food, tins of dog food, or like fertilizer bags, or the weed out of the cattle trough, or, oh gosh, the spinners from the pickers, like all sorts of trash, right? And she will see it and she'll bring her artistic talents to it and create these most amazing costumes. And she's performed throughout all of Queensland. She runs these beautiful shows where she gets volunteers who come and wear her creations. They get a kick out of it. The audience loves it. and she raises money for charities. She's appeared in documentaries, she's won prizes, she's appeared in newspapers and media, all forms, and she brings a lot of joy and goodness to our local communities all around Queensland. And so I just love that she's an incredible example of like just giving yourself permission to love what you love and to enjoy it and then follow that and see where it comes. For her, it provides such a depth of meaning and purpose and fulfillment. And point number two, or the second ingredient, is that often the challenges we're given in life provide us with the most unique opportunity to help others. Now, this has been my story, right? Like I went through burnout and my life has now become burnout to bliss. Right now, one of my beautiful clients, like she works with me in Being Bliss, which is my top level mastermind. And she decided to do that because she's ready to identify, what is her passion and purpose for this next chapter of her life. And a lot of women, working mums, go through this. Once the children get old enough to be at school, then it's like, oh, it's okay. I've got more energy and time for me. Now, she felt really ready to take a leap, but just not sure what that would entail. And for her, what's become really clear is that her own journey with hormones and perimenopausal challenges is something that she's been on and, requiring support for, and something that she'd love to support others with too, right? And it's such a gift. I truly believe we are given these challenges. And I know with other clients of mine, it's like in the burnout or in their overwhelm or disconnection, they then discover art or music. And then that becomes this whole new leap in life. Now, the third ingredient is helping others. It is one of the most powerful ways to discover a sense of fulfillment, helping others, where we stop focusing on me and focus on us, right? When you focus on making the most positive impact on the lives of others, it's just how you open the doorway, the channel to this flow of joy. Now, there's a difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is where we get what we want. Joy is when you give another person what they want, making them happy. And because of this, it's a spiritual concept. Joy is spiritual. It is this awakening of the soul within us. That's what joy is. It's different to happiness. And when we make another person happy, it's felt within them. And where is them? They're within us. It's based on this law of unity. This is another conversation probably for another time, but I want you to understand cultivating joy in your life is intimately linked in terms of serving others and giving unconditionally and having a really positive impact in other people's lives. Okay. And this is why helping others is such a good desire, and it becomes addictive. It really does. And research shows that when we are kind and we're generous, we get this massive release of all the feel-good hormones like oxytocin and serotonin, and it's good for us. We live longer. We become happier. Our physiology benefits from it. And so by utilizing your unique skills, talents, experiences to uplift, to support others, you create this massive ripple effect of positivity that extends beyond you and your immediate family and into your community, into the world. And it can take so many different forms, right? Like volunteering, mentoring, fostering, creating inspiring content, smiling, just walking down the street with this smile on your face, showing up kind and open-hearted. That's great service. Simply being a compassionate listener to those in need, it's just so enriching. And so when you align your purpose with serving others, you really do contribute to making the world a better place, but you contribute to making your world, your personal world, a better place. And that is where you just experience this profound sense of fulfillment and joy. And you know what I'm talking about, because if you're tuning in, you're someone who has a big heart and you love to give. And so this is why I am so passionate about pouring love into yourself first, because often we are givers and we give to a point of depletion and end up broken, feeling resentful, burnt out or anxious. And it's like we want to align with what we know is best, and that is being great for the world and giving to the world, but do it in a way where we're filling our cups so then we overflow into our families, into our projects, into our communities, like getting involved with your local PNC and getting to hang out with other mums. Like, that's something that I'm just enjoying so much at the moment, and dads. So questioning and discovering your life purpose, it's a freaking incredible journey. It's rewarding, it's worthy, and honestly, I and you, we all get to prioritize this for the rest of our lives. We're so grateful to have this as a question. If you're questioning this, then just honor that the fact that you're at a point where you can question that. I know it can get so frustrating because we want to get it clear in a linear plan, a 5-year plan, and this is a neon sign that says this is your purpose. But the journey in itself is actually what matters the most. You know, by desiring greater purpose, it's how you uncover a deeper understanding of who you are and what truly matters to you. So I want to really remind you, purpose can be found right here, right now, in the present moment, in the roles and responsibilities that you currently hold, the identity you choose to embrace, to adopt, and that to do that, getting out of that survival state is very, very, very important. Okay. So trust in the process, be open to really supporting yourself in the most magnificent way. And what if that's exactly what's required for you, for your family, for the world? I think it is. I think it's exactly what's required right now, because we're so normalizing stress and hustle and self-sacrificing that we're all ending up depleted and burnt out and unhappy and on medications and a shadow of who we could be. Instead, we get to pour love into ourselves first and, you know, really have a soul-aligned life. And this is a process of going beyond the mind, tapping into our heart and tuning into something bigger within us, our truth, our power, and life gets so magnificent at that stage. So if you want a proven framework to help you with this, then I recommend the Burnout to Bliss process, which is the framework within our Expanding Bliss offer. Now, I have a limited number of breakthrough sessions available this week for you. I'd love to connect with you. It is by application only, because we do have strict criteria around these sessions. But it's a win-win situation if you reach out and apply, because if you're not a good fit, we have another bonus for you. And always, you know, I truly believe that there's a reason why our paths cross, why you discover me, why I'm in your world. And I really look forward to receiving your application and chatting with you and exploring on that call where you're at right now, what's getting in the way, where you want to get to, and if I can build the bridge between those two. And I can't wait to hear from you. So it's been such a joy. Always let me know if you want to share with me your experience, post in the comments. Thank you for sharing this with the people that you love. Spread the word. I love being here and supporting you with this incredible wisdom, and I hope that it supports you with this next chapter of life. Stay tuned for the next episode. Bye-bye. It has been so beautiful spending this time with you. If you found today's episode inspiring or helpful, please subscribe, give us a good review, and share the love. I invite you to be a part of the Bliss movement. Join our Bliss Sisterhood or apply to join my Expanding Bliss program. The links are in my bio, and I cannot wait to be doing live with you soon. Stay tuned for the next episode, where I'll be sharing more training, stories, strategies, and solutions to guide you towards your bliss.